Hi guys and welcome. Today we are back with Dollar Tree DIYs. This time it's Dollar Tree lemon DIYs. So let's get started. For this first one, I had picked up this truck a while back from Dollar Tree. I have a stencil from local Stockade. I can link the website in the description box for you to check out. And then I have this artist panel from Dollarama. Now, typically, I stain the outside of the panel and I paint the inside of the panel and kind of have like a frame going on. But I have decided that for this one, I will just simply paint the panel with some white acrylic paint. I'm giving it a light coat. I'm not staining it or doing edging or anything. I'm just keeping it very simple. Before we get deep into these DIYs, I just want to mention that this video is part of a challenge that I am hosting. It is my monthly challenge where I invite fellow creators to join me in different types of DIYs. For this month, so for the May's challenge, I asked them to create lemon DIYs. So there is going to be a playlist in the description box with tons of lemon DIY ideas for you. Now don't all necessarily have to be Dollar Tree. I don't tell them where to get the supplies from. Just simply share the lemon DIYs. So make sure you check out the playlist after you are finished watching this video. And if you are stopping by for the very first time to my channel, welcome. I would love it if you considered becoming part of my YouTube family by pressing the subscribe button and a notification bell. And don't forget to check out the description box for links to all my other channels as well as everywhere else that you can find me on social media. I also give a truck a base coat of the white acrylic paint. I paint everything white except the tires. I do paint the middle of the tires white as well, but not the outside, the rubber part of the tire. Now that the truck is painted white and it had some time to dry, I also, as you saw, painted the tires. I take the same paint, which is this Any Sloan graphite. You can use black acrylic paint. I'm out of it and haven't had a chance to order some yet. So I take the stencil and my stenciling brush and dab it on the rims of the truck. You obviously the same rules apply when you're applying the stencil. Less is more. Work in small batches instead of applying a ton of paint just to get it done. So just be patient and work your way through it. I pretty much give this tip every single time I use a stencil because I do find that if you use too much paint, it will get smudged. Now I ended up cleaning off the stencil before I moved on to the rest of the truck. I did want to cover the whole truck with the buffalo stencil, Chuck stencil. However, there were some areas that I couldn't quite get into it, which you will see. And I also ended up doing making my life a little bit easier and using a roller to apply the paint. But again, you don't want too much paint on that roller, so I actually ended up taking some off on a rag. I love buffalo check, especially at Christmas time and at fall time. But I do love the way it looks with lemons, and lemon decor is one of my favorite ways to decorate for the summer. I think it's just so bright and cheery and it brightens up any space. If you want to see how I'm going to be decorating my house using lemons and all of the DIYs that I create that are lemon or summer DIYs here on this DIY channel, make sure you head on over to my home channel where I will be starting starting my summer series probably this week, and I can't wait to share all the decor plans and things I have in store over on that channel. Tons of decorating inspiration. So if you love decor, you love lemons, make sure you head on over there. The link is in the description box. So once I had finished applying the stencil, I took some of my craft foam that I had in my daycare stash and cut out lemons. So it looks like the truck has all these lemons coming out of it. I also ended up cutting out the leaves from the green foam. Now you did see that I had hot glued the truck to the painted artist panel that had some time to dry. You want to make sure that it's dry before you glue it on, because otherwise it will fall off. I also cut out some letters from some words with my Cricut machine, and I was using some of that Dollar Tree vinyl. I wasn't overly impressed with the way it was I was transferring it, but it did end up working, and I was happy with the way it ended up looking. It was just a little bit of how you say, it gave me some trouble transferring it, more so the yellow one than the black one. And I cut out, as you can see, farm to table and fresh picked lemons. I was very happy when I discovered that our Dollar Tree was carrying all these supplies for a Cricut machine, like vinyl, and then they had some tools as well, because sometimes I don't necessarily want a big roll of certain colored vinyl. I just want a little bit, and at $1.25, how can you go wrong? After I transferred the words onto the panel, I ended up tracing the fresh picked lemons with some black marker. I just think it gave the letters a little bit of depth. I did the same thing with the lemons as well. I just thought it created a little bit of a shadow and it gave it a dimension. I love the way this sign turned out. I think it's going to look great with the rest of my lemon decor that I have in store. For the next DIY, this one was more of a trash to treasure with a little bit of Dollar Tree. I'm sure we all have some of these candle containers from Bath and Body Works. I love keeping these because they are so versatile and you can create so many different DIYs with them. So this one was the white wisteria, I think it was, white gardenia flower. And I am just removing the sticker with this little handy tool that I got at Dollar Store and More, and because I just wanted to make sure that I have a clean slate for the next step. I had purchased this kitchen rag at Dollar Tree, and I will be using it to dress up the container. I think also another thing that you could do is, if you found some napkins that are the pattern that you want, you could do this as well. I think that would look nice. So I'm just measuring out to see what the length and the width of the material I need to cut, because then that way I can use the rest of the other parts of the material for some other DIY. I will be using Mod Podge to glue this on. I do put a little bit of hot glue, which you will see in a little bit, just to keep it in place because it was sliding on me a bit more than I liked it to. So I just go around, and then I also cover the outside of the rag with Mod Podge as well. I love with the way this turned out. I think it looks really cute with some greenery, but you could also put some candles in it as well. Next project was also trash to treasure with some dollar store items. So I have all these pieces of fabric that were scraps from other projects. I've got some dark brown burlap, light brown burlap, some buffalo check, also yellow burlap, and some canvas that I used to make pillows over the Easter for DIY period. So I have still quite a bit of quite the pieces left over, so I wanted to use them up. So I just cut all these pieces to fit on top of this scrap piece of wood, and I use hot glue and a rotary. So I use a rotary cutter to cut them, hot glue to glue them. But before I glue them, I fringe. I only fringe the dark brown one, which will be my base, my background. Next, I add a layer of this canvas, and I use the rotary cutter just to straighten everything out. I do not fringe this material. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoy lemon DIYs. I have a couple more coming planned for the upcoming weeks. So I would love to know if this is something you enjoy as much as I do. So once I glued that on, I move on to cutting out a piece of yellow burlap, but I'm going to draw out a lemon shape. Tried with a pencil, it didn't really work, so I take a marker and I just, like I said, draw on a shape of a lemon. That fits inside that canvas. You also want to leave a little bit of room for the leaves because you want to add some leaves too. And then I cut out a smaller lemon by tracing the yellow burlap lemon first, and then just cutting out one that's a tiny bit smaller. And I use the buffalo check fabric to cut that out of. I love, like I said, mentioned before, adding the buffalo checks with lemons. I think it just looks so well together. So I glue them together, and then I glue them onto the little sign. And for the leaves, because I didn't have, all the green fabric that I had was really, really bright, and I didn't love it. So I end up just using that green marker to draw on and color in the leaves. I did think this sign is so cute and would look absolutely amazing on your tier tray if you have a tier tray that's big enough to hold it up. It's just so simple and I think so cute. Well, I hope you enjoyed these DIYs. If you did, please leave me a comment. Let me know. Share it with a friend. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. And don't forget to check out the playlist in the description box for all even more lemon DIY ideas. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for watching.